as you walk through the valley of the shadow of hell, you will realize that there is something ahead. Something that lurks behind the dark veil. A veil that is beyond our own comprehension. Beyond the void.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to
Beyond the Void!
Horror Podcast.
That's right, we're back for a brand new episode with one of our good buddies, Mighty Mike Saga.
Yeah!
If you guys remember, for my birthday last year, he came on. We did a fucking episode with our buddy Jordan, too. And we did, it was an episode on GravePlots, which we'll be doing today, by the way, guys. But we did an episode, it was the Slaughtery.
The Slaughtery.
Which, if you guys remember, Mike Saga mentioned that the new It movie, the Final Form monster, was going to be Tim Curry in a wheelchair.
I'm going to hell in a handbasket.
It's still funny to me. Brady and I laugh about it all the time, actually. But, so how's everybody doing?
I'm doing hangover. I mean, I'm doing good. Good. So good that I can't even sit straight.
You have a hangover, though, for real?
Yeah,
I think you
for
said
real,
you
for real.
didn't drink that much.
I lied. I have jet lag,
He's
too.
full of shit.
I am such full of shit. I actually have to take a shit. Excuse me? All right, I'm done. That's terrible.
Yeah, let it out, Mike. Let it all out.
Your chair's brown now.
Oh, God.
That escalated quickly.
But guys, if you don't know who Mighty Mike Saga is, he's like a DJ, producer, event promoter, like the works. He does a lot of work in industrial rave scenes, just about, and he also makes like stuff too. Like he's also a fucking digital arts person, I guess you could call it, right?
It's true.
Yeah. So if you ever need anything,
Kind of
he
a jack of all trades.
Yeah, he
I'm a
does
jack off of all trades.
Jack off of all trades.
Too close.
I'm
Close,
sorry.
Michael.
Tickle my pickle.
What about you, Brittany? What are you up to? How you been? What's going
I'm
on
good.
with you?
Yeah, just getting ready for Lust on Saturday, so
Oh yeah.
you know,
That's right. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do something like that, dude.
it's a lot for a lot of people.
You suck, Alex.
Well, I
Yeah.
do this streaming thing on Mondays and Saturdays, like clockwork. Like I don't think I've missed one in months.
You're a terrible friend.
I know. Well, I've never been to one. I feel like an asshole, but
But
there are raging parties. Why don't you tell us what happens at these parties, Brittany? Tell 'em.
Yeah, well, Lust events are pretty much we do whatever the fuck we want to. So we're really good friends with the owners of the bar, so we get away with murder, literally. So
shit.
it's a good time. There's a lot of grind shows and crazy shenanigans. People getting stapled, people getting
Shenaniganza
cut, whatever. We do what we want. It's basically a sex party, but
with fire.
with fire.
Yeah, lots of
Yeah.
fire actually.
It's a good time.
Doesn't he usually do doesn't like someone come over and make a blowtorch or some shit like that, or is that somebody else's
No, like they've done shit like that in the past, but
for
like
the house parties or whatever?
that's Slavic,
Yeah.
Slavic's house parties. They have like a blowtorch and shit. but-
Yeah, that's what I was
No,
wondering.
like Heather can literally just like make a blowtorch with her mouth, so that's all we need.
Yeah, no shit.
She
right.
won't be there, so that sucks. But it's our first Lust without Heather, but we'll be all right.
Yeah, I hope it. I'm sure it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. I think we're almost sold out already,
Damn.
which is crazy. So
That's awesome.
yeah, because we did tickets this time, and yeah, I already sold all my tickets a long time ago, and everybody else has sold tickets, and like Alex from Casket Snatch, like last night was like, I need like at least 10 more tickets. Like they're already sold. I need 10 more. And Rhett's like, I only have like 15. What the fuck? And I'm like, I will figure it out.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
You can only put so many people in there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What's your max capacity for that
Well,
place?
we have the outdoor patio that we do. We like enclose. We basically just put up like regular fences and then black it all out, so you can take your drinks
nice.
outside and shit too.
Nice.
So it expands it by like at least 100 people.
Very cool.
But I mean, yeah, the Rogue's really small.
Well, I haven't been doing all that much. I did. By the way, guys, I record. This is the second podcast I've done today. We had our friends over at Don't Go Down That Road podcast actually are in town here in Arizona, and they hit me up on Twitter, and we met up and did a fucking podcast on their show that we recorded with my studio. So I was like, fuck it. Like, yeah, hell yeah. And we had a blast. So if you guys, I don't know when it's coming out, so I'll find out, but keep an eye out for it because we really did have a good time. I think it was a really good episode. So it was awesome seeing you guys, by the way. So thank you so much, John and Rachel, for coming. So keep an eye out for that in your ear, whatever works.
I have something to add though. Would you call it, since you did a double podcast, is it like double penetration in a way? Is it double podcasting?
Yeah, I've been
You
cheating.
filled all your holes.
I've been cheating on our podcast with another
Tipping
podcast.
slut.
Yeah. Alex is, and the Void is such sluts.
Well, Saga, you've been doing something. You're gonna have a fucking
Yeah.
event this weekend. What are you not saying?
Oh man, I know. But yeah, I have Bubble Bobble this weekend, and
Why don't you tell them what that is?
okay, so what it is, it's actually Arizona's longest running foam party, not foam.
Yeah. Everybody
Yeah.
looks at their phones, and it's
Right.
awesome.
Basically every concert there is now.
Yeah.
Assholes. No, but it's Arizona's longest foam party. This is our 10th year, believe it or not. 10 fucking years.
That's pretty big, man.
Yeah, we have a multitude of talent. Actually, our headliner is from Germany.
Oh, yeah.
His name's Dune.
What kind of
And,
music is it he's spinning?
happy hardcore.
Oh, yeah.
But we have a little bit of everything. I'm playing nothing but the best in disco polka.
Excellent.
With a little bit of ambient noise polka and a little bit of synth pop country music.
Well, there's a lot of that out there.
Yeah, man, it's blowing up. We're making shit up as we go. But no, it's gonna be fun Saturday. 10 years, man. Bubble Bobble.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. I can't believe people put up with this bullshit.
Yeah, man, they just want to have fun, you know?
Right.
So that's awesome, man. And me and Mike actually did an event out here called I Love Industrial one year.
That was a blast.
Yeah, it was a good time, man.
I was talking about that like the other night, and I can't believe it was that long ago.
I know.
Yeah.
It, like,
I was-
upsets me.
I was like, why didn't? Because like I was expecting it to be like 300-400 people too. Like, and we still had a blast.
Yeah.
I think everybody missed out. It sucked because at the end of the night,
Right.
something was wrong with the speaker system in the after party,
Yeah.
and so we had to tell everybody to go home. I was so pissed.
Yeah, dude, you know what's funny? I was so drunk I don't even remember that. Wow.
Yeah, I was like, Saga, you got to say something. You're like, listen, guys.
Yeah, I had to be the messenger, and I don't really remember.
Oh, man.
I hope I wasn't an asshole.
No. I think it was just like, sad panda. It was
yeah.
just like, how do you tell a bunch of people that there was going to be this thing and now no longer can we have it?
Right. Shit didn't work.
It's fine.
And then we had the venue
Right.
yelling at us, telling us it was our fault. And we were
Right.
like, what the fuck are you talking about? We
Yeah.
weren't even allowed up here.
Right.
It's like, how is it our fault? So that they to this day say that we ruined their system.
Bullshit.
And I was like, okay.
Publicly calling you out and saying bullshit.
But yeah, it was fun. We had a good time.
Yeah.
But
it was worth it.
I don't want to make this intro too long, so I think it might be that time.
All right.
Horse shots! All right, guys, so we have a special shot. Since we're not doing a movie this week and we have our buddy on and we're going to do the GravePlots
that
and everything
looks
this week,
disgusting.
we didn't really know what we were going to do. So Christina went and had an idea that she came up with, really. It's all her idea. And it's got 3 ingredients in it, one of which is the actual shot glass. So this is a very creative shot, and this is called a Saga Smash.
Yeah. Saga Smash. Then get smashed with you later.
But yeah, so we figured that's a kind of an inside joke a little bit with Saga because like it's like the Hulk and like whatever else. Like Mike's like the fucking nostalgia king, you know, he loves all that shit. So, but yeah, so what we did here, guys. Now there is a thing that you can buy that you can make shot glasses out of ice. So instead of using water, Christina got up the idea to actually use pickle juice to fill the glass with pickle juice. So the shot glass is literally frozen vinegar, pickle juice. And then is you're going to take these frozen shot glasses, you're going to get some watermelon, you're going to try to crush it up into small pieces because you're going to be swallowing this in a shot glass. So you try to do it as small as you can. You're going to put a little bit of that in the bottom of each of the shot glasses. Juice is fine with it too, so there may be a seed in there, but that's all part of its charm.
I'm horny.
What the fuck?
I have no idea what's going on. Who are you people?
Okay, so then once you get that, just a little spoonful at the bottom, you're going to take some whiskey. We're using Evan Williams for this one. Now, you're going to want to do this fast because vinegar doesn't exactly solidify perfectly, so we froze well, not froze, but we put the...
You can't freeze alcohol.
Yeah, we put the whiskey in the... Oh, it's already spilling out.
Oh, shit. You're supposed to freeze a piece of cardboard in the bottom. No, I don't know.
Here. Saga, here.
Shit,
quickly.
Okay.
Come here, quick.
Okay, just drink it.
Do it.
Oh, God. Oh, God, this tastes terrible. Guys, do not try this at home. You're going to die.
Okay, guys, so it kind of went through the bottom here.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Pickle juice. No. Pickleback. It rhymes with Nickelback. It's not cool.
I'm going to do one. I'm sorry, Brittany. It literally...
Oh, it got in my crotch. Oh, God.
Yep, that's not working.
That was a bad idea. Fuck.
This has been really amusing for me.
Oh, shit.
I smell like vinegar, dude.
They're all just
No.
like, Saga's rubbing his dick right now.
I really am.
He is.
And not in a sexual way.
Sorry,
either.
baby.
Yo, Alex is literally fucking rubbing his nipples.
Yeah. You got dick rubbing, nipple rubbing.
So hindsight, guys, you're going to want to make sure the bottom is really super thick with the vinegar, the pickle juice or whatever. If you also want to do this Saga Smash, all you have to do is get some pickle juice, put it in a regular shot glass, as well as put in some watermelon and then some whiskey, and that would suffice too. Unfortunately, the frozen thing, we didn't make it thick enough. So we've got a plate full of whiskey and vinegar.
Make
I'll
Saga
drink
it.
Boy, what did I just sign up for?
Here, just give me the shot glasses. I'll pour the juice in, and then you can take it so that we don't have it.
I totally want to eat a
God, it's disease goblin dick. Look at it.
Careful.
Look at it.
I smell like a fucking dude.
Tickle my pickle. I know, we smell like douchebags right now.
So what we're doing now, guys, just so you know, we're going to be pouring in about 3/4 of whiskey into the shot or Dixie cup we're using right now.
Yeah. We sure are dicks. I mean, dick, yeah, whatever.
Brittany's eating a pickle over there.
What the fuck
Well,
is
they
going
better
on?
not go to waste. I mean,
I fucking love pickles.
yeah, I do
Yeah.
too, man. I eat them at night, and they say that if you eat them at night, it gives you bad dreams.
Good. Bring it on.
Pickle dreams.
Bad dreams are made of these.
What could be bad about a pickle
Eat
dream?
these pickles pretty please. What the fuck?
So now we're going to scoop in a little bit of the watermelon juice and watermelon bits.
This is disgusting, people.
Give me the pickle juice.
Your pickle juice. Okay, there we go. Oh, God, it's disgusting.
And we're gonna pour just a little bit on top, guys. It's gonna be enough. You know, you're gonna be putting in about 1/4 of fucking pickle juice almost in this. So I don't know why this is a Saga Smash, but I'm delighted by the choice.
Saga
that cap
hates
on?
this.
As
Okay.
much as he hates picklebacks, I'm also surprised.
Can you hand that
well,
to her?
it's too close to. It rhymes too close to Nickelback, so I get very angry very quickly.
Who does?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? This is just gonna turn into a thing about trashing Nickelback now. No, I'm kidding.
All right.
Saga's very
So
angry.
try two. Take two.
So at the count of 2, are we ready?
Yeah.
1, 2. Saga Smash! Oh God, I'm questioning my life right now.
Oh my God.
Oh God, don't try that at home, anybody. I didn't even eat the brain matter in it. Oh,
Oh. Oh wait.
Oh, it's disgusting. Oh, God, why did we do that?
I don't know. It's really bad.
Don't ever do that. Anybody, please don't ever do this. Take it from us. I think Brittany likes it because she hasn't yelled like us. Or do you like that, Brittany?
Dude, it tasted bad, and then when
No.
that little piece of watermelon hit my throat, I was like, ugh.
Oh,
It wasn't so bad at first, and then it was
Baby,
just like, nope.
I'm so sorry it didn't work out.
Christina, can I have a water? Thank you.
Oh, God. Yeah, that was a really bad idea.
Yeah, it was, oh, that was probably
Oy.
one of the
We
worst.
did it for science.
That was pretty bad.
Bleh.
It's pretty fucking bad.
So if you would like to try a Saga Smash,
Don't do it.
all you gotta do is go to longlivethevoid.com and pretend that you did.
Just punch Saga in the balls.
Check out our
Right, next
hashtag.
time you
Next
see
time.
me.
It's good enough.
But
Thank
guys,
you.
we do have a lot of shots that we do. You can check it out in our hashtag horror shot section on the website. Not all of them are going to taste like this, but we take risks to find the best shots in the world. And we do it for you guys. But that's it for horror shots. All right, guys, so now what we're going to do is we're going to jump into our grave plots with Mighty Mike Saga to come up with a juicy horror movie with all the names and everything, kills, deaths, the whole works. And we'll tell you how to do that in just a second, but let's do that.
Right now.
All right, guys, so we're back, and we're going to do our grave plots now. And if you've never heard of what grave plots is, or our segment that we do infrequently, we do it every now and then now. But what we do is we basically make up horror movie titles on the spot. We just write them down on a piece of paper, ball them up, put them in our crystal skull with diamond eyes. That's worth $8 billion, don't ask.
It's true.
And then we actually pull the names out. Now, we even take listener submissions, and if you have a movie title that you just think is the shit, and you would love to hear us make up the story for this movie, because what we do is we pull the name out of the crystal skull with diamond eyes, we open it up. If one of us made up the title, that person has to stay quiet while the other people make up the premise of the movie, the kills, the deaths, the characters. We try to get a kind of an idea of what we're doing, and then we all work together to figure it all out. And then by the end of it, we come up with a tagline, we make up a fake VHS cover for it, and that's it. So we even try to add sound effects in it, so it's kind of like atmospheric.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something new we're doing. But yeah, if you guys ever want to submit one of your titles, you can only submit one or maybe two. If we pick it, we'll give you a shout out on the podcast. And you could do that by going to longlivethevoid.com, and you can submit it under our contact section. There's a drop-down menu. You'll see it there. But anyway, Mike Saga, why don't you go ahead and do the honors?
All right. Here we grow.
Grab the crystal skull with diamond eyes.
He's lying.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I say that every time he gets so mad at me.
I do too.
I'm picking one snot ball, right?
Yeah, just
It's
one
not
ball.
all.
All right. One. This is like a little like Chihuahua's cojones right here that I just grabbed.
So this could be yours.
Mine
It could be
doesn't have any
mine. It could be
cojones.
Brittany's. It could be a listener's.
There's nothing in my hand. What does that mean?
What are you
What does that
doing?
mean?
All right. I'm sorry.
Just grab one.
All right. I've got it. I've got the golden ticket.
Oh, you can undo
Oh,
it.
I get the honors of opening it.
Yeah.
It is. Oh God. Oh shit. Here we go. My idea. High frequency.
I can't believe out of all the ones that are in there, we actually got yours. There's like 20 some in there.
I fixed it.
But so Mike came up with this, so he can't tell us anything about it, although he kind of already did.
Yeah, and I like it.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, you can't. Damn it.
No, I like it. But
Well-
but okay, so this is my idea.
Okay.
From playing off of what he was talking about earlier. So I like the idea of the certain pitch or certain frequency makes a person do something, right?
Freak out or?
Do something, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I feel like it should be one person that controls that frequency or that pitch that people hear.
Agreed.
And he or she, whatever, focuses on whoever he wants to, and then he controls what they do, and then makes a pitch do it, and then they do it, whether it's killing somebody or whether it's just taking their pants off
Or
and
jerking off.
whacking off in public or whatever it
It
is.
kind of
like-
reminds me of Orgasmo or something.
Sort of.
I kind of like the idea that like maybe there's just like a frequency that like happens every so often. It's insequential, or what is it called?
It's the
Infrequent.
The government's doing it.
Infrequent.
Right.
But it's almost like we were talking about like how the happening, you know, where like people go crazy or whatever. But maybe it was like it's kind of like that, but not the plants dumb shit that
That's
they did.
So dumb.
Yeah, eat a dick, M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, motherfucker, and I'm from Philly, and I agree.
But maybe it does turn people. But we kind of did something like this in a way, though. We did
When
that.
made people's heads explode, didn't
Remember
they?
we did Ho Ho Homicide? Remember that?
Yeah.
Where they heard the Bing Crosby
No, that was just one part of it, though.
playing backwards, and it caused everybody to go crazy and kill everyone.
Fucking movie, man.
Yeah, that's totally different.
Okay, so how do we spin this a little bit different than that? If they're hearing a frequency that not anybody can actually audibly hear, it just causes some sort of
It's
freaking
like a dog whistle.
right,
right.
and it causes people to like go nuts. Does it cause them to go nuts?
I feel like it should cause a specific action as to like whoever's doing it controls the action that they do too.
So it's like a diabolical. Wait, I
Yeah,
can't
so it can
add
start out like super simple and just be silly, stupid shit, and then escalate into like murder
So you're saying like maybe
on like
there's-
grand scheme murders. Like
So there's just a little bit of a change of the frequency can like cause them to do different actions.
yeah,
I'm raising my
Saga.
hand.
Okay.
Am I,
Well,
now,
wait.
I'm not allowed to suggest.
Not yet,
anything,
not
right?
yet.
Not yet. Okay, because I have a few ideas how this could work.
Well, we can always change things afterwards. But
Okay, I could like how I saw it. Okay, but
Right.
I like you.
like I feel like we
brainstorming.
should let him interject because he's really excited.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, I'm about to touch myself.
He is.
So I believe. So I guess you could even make this come in later, right? After, like, you could take my dialogue and put it in later. Well, the point is, I feel like it's like it was like a freak military experiment, and then it got on the black market where you had this device, right? That somebody purchased, and the military wrote it off. They're like, this is fucking dumb. So a frequency that makes you control exactly what you can make people do. So they wrote it off, and it made it out into the black market or whatever. And I feel like that would be like a premise.
So
some
it's like-
dickhead got a hold of it and paid money for
So it's
it.
like
Yeah, like
MK
Donald
Ultra or something,
Right, but like MK Dumbtra. You know what I mean? Like the wrong. Like I feel like if it's gonna be like, I would see it as a horror comedy because that's like my favorite style of horror movie is that style. I feel like the wrong person did the wrong thing with it, and it makes it funny where like they have this thing that plays a frequency, and like he or she, or actually it'd be really cool if it was a he/she that got it, that had control, or it was like binary gender or whatever,
Okay.
but like wanted to do exact revenge on like people that have wronged them, right? And make it like a modern thing where like they were made fun of for like using the girls' bathroom because they felt they were a woman or something, and then they got revenge on these people and made them feel what they felt. Like, so, but make it funny.
What if we did this though? What if we did? I came up with a little bit of a different idea in my head just now. Like, what if they could? I mean, like, have you ever seen Critters?
Oh God, one
Critters
of my favorite
2,
movies.
I think it was.
Yes.
Do you remember when they were changing and morphing into other people?
Yeah.
What if the frequency could have them play out the characters of some sort of movie?
Right.
And what if the frequency was in that movie? Like, kind of how, like, they put this tone in it. So it's almost like brainwashing, but it causes people to act out one of the characters or whatever that they make people watch. Would that be
cool.
interesting?
That is interesting. That's a different
Because
take
it's
on it.
different. I haven't heard anything like that.
No, you definitely were original on that one.
You know what I mean? It just adds an extra little thing to it. So, like, we could pick from different movies or different, like, characters. It could be like one person thinks they're King Kong.
Right.
Or, like, one person thinks they're Freddy Krueger. Or, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and they don't necessarily have to kill anybody, but they just act out these things.
Make a fool out of themselves, maybe.
Right.
But there has to be death in it, because come on.
Well, maybe the frequency eventually reverberates around in their eardrums and
then
causes them to pop their heads.
Their head explodes.
Yeah.
Or, no. Testicles or like what genitalia explode. That's just terrible. Like the dude's balls explode.
Oh my God, Saga.
Oh, Saga Smash.
Where'd my balls
Of
go?
course, it had to be general popping.
Yeah. Wow.
I was just trying to pee, man.
Oh, terrible.
Let me see. So, I mean, do you like that idea, or do we want to go somewhere else?
I like the idea.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about you, Brittany?
Works for me.
Fuck that. She yawned.
She put up a thumbs up. She's like, yeah, I'm bored with this.
Thumbs up your ass, asshole. This is terrible. Put your
okay.
thumb up your ass.
Okay, so okay, now we got to figure out why it's happening, who's doing it, and who are the people that are going to get affected by it. So, why is it happening? Is it just some guy who's like figured out a way to make people do things, act out certain parts or whatever? Like maybe, I don't want it to be like some actor who's like, I just wanted to play the part like this.
Right. Yeah.
That's stupid. Yeah, so what if it's like okay, so some guy finds this like thing and he decides to kind of like troll people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And put it on these movies, and then he puts them on the internet for people to download them. So it's like payback for stealing the movies. Do you know what I mean? So
deep like anal, dog.
Well, you never know. I mean, it makes sense. Like it's more than like I don't know. We've always done the like mad scientist,
Right.
And like that's overdone. So it's like it could be just some kid who figures out he hacks into some military base, figures out this high frequency pattern that makes him like do something that he and like a few hours later go by and he just he's completely cognizant when it happens to him, but he like pisses himself and like, you know, whatever else that you know is
Shits
on the
himself.
TV, or you know, maybe he's watching a movie while he's like looking and hacking in this, and it somehow like mixes the two.
That
you know,
makes sense.
I don't know. I just think it's interesting to be able to grab off of different lore.
Yeah.
So that we can kind of make this like hodgepodge of like this. Yeah, whatever. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it could be just some troll hacker guy.
That gets this great power.
Right, because there's people
Doesn't
all
know
the
how to-
time that like will just do things. Like, have you ever seen those email chains?
Oh, yeah.
Or like you'll get a message, like my aunt always sends them to me, and I always feel bad because like I think she thinks it's real. It was like, hey, Mark Zuckerberg told us to write to each other to
Right.
say, and I'm like, that's not real.
Stop doing that.
But I think of the people who come up with that concept and what they get out of it, and I just don't understand.
Right. Are they just getting off on the fact that they know they're just spreading bullshit and some people are actually going to believe it?
Right.
That's probably what that is.
What if it like, and then it's like, what if this kid does this and puts it up on certain movies or whatever,
Right.
just to kind of like fuck with people, and then it kind of like gets shared so many times, and instead of it only lasting for X amount of time, he like amplified the frequency too much,
Right.
And so people like start going completely bananas,
Right.
and they don't know what the fuck is going on. So
Yeah.
some people are killing each other, some people are singing in the rain, or
Right.
whatever the fuck the movie is. You know what I mean?
Some
Like,
people are fucking their mothers. I mean, God, shit's just getting out of control.
but like these are like carbon copies of these movies,
Right.
So these people are like
Acting out everything.
literally, yeah, like
That's
almost
good.
to the T.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, maybe their voice isn't perfect, but like the movements and everything that they do are very similar. You know what I
Right.
mean?
They're reenacting everything from what they saw.
Right.
That's like mimicking.
Well, I mean, it's reenacting, but also not like completely. Like they can be aware of their surroundings,
right.
but they, you know,
Just
so
can't stop.
yeah,
Right. Like I saw it happening, but I couldn't stop it.
like one guy watches Halloween,
Right.
and it like
He
affects
starts
his
like
brain.
stalking his neighbors.
Right,
Right.
yeah, and he gets shot in the face because it's ridiculous.
In the face.
Right.
What if he gets like shot off the like second balcony of a house and falls over? Only this time he doesn't disappear.
Yeah.
Right.
Or get back up.
Right, exactly.
Because he's a human and he's actually dead.
Yeah,
Like he should
exactly.
be.
So the laws of the movies don't actually apply.
Yeah.
But something else has to happen. What if the frequency actually physically changes them?
Like visibly, like there's,
Right.
like, they have a mask
Like,
on or something.
The signal was so strong that it actually physically changes them into some of the characters almost, and their body becomes like weird.
Right, and that would be more credible to this scare the shit out of people
Right.
too.
I don't
Yeah.
think, I mean, just the fact of somebody reacting and acting out a certain way is kind of creepy. You know, like if you saw a
Right.
crazy person on the street, It'd be kind of freaky.
Yeah, I see it all the time. I live
Right.
in Phoenix.
Yeah, right.
But if they had like something physically going on with them where parts of their body were like changing,
Melting.
Right.
or like
all of a sudden you had Kruger hand or something.
right, like maybe his hands just like spikes,
Right.
like something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like maybe if someone did turn into King Kong, you know what I
He gets
mean?
really hairy.
Like he just gets really hairy and he becomes kind of like a beast in that. What's that movie? That Jeffrey Altered States.
Altered States. God.
You haven't seen that?
I think I have. That's old, isn't it?
Yeah, it's old.
Yeah, it is old.
They put people in deprivation chambers.
Right. Exactly, yeah.
And then he focuses on, he kind of goes out of his body and comes back
Right.
with this
Which Stranger
beast.
Things was trying to do, right? They were doing
Kind
some
of,
different-
yeah.
They were doing sensory deprivation in Stranger Things, right? That was,
Was it,
11.
was it Stranger Things?
Yeah, Stranger Things had the sensory deprivation chamber. They put 11 in it.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's an interesting thing.
Altered States. I need to watch that again.
Yeah. I know. Was that an 80s or a 90s movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, something
It was
like
80s.
that.
Yeah.
It was 80s or 70s.
It could have been on Vestron Video for all we
I just
know.
remember, what's his name? The dude from
Lebowski?
Lebowski's in it.
Oh, shit. Anytime anyone says the dude, I automatically think
Lebowski.
The thing. He's like,
That's great.
right, man. I can't do it. I'm not even going to try anymore. All right, so okay, we know why it happened. We know how it's affecting people. It's kind of changing them. We know that the troll kid, started this, but now it's gotten out of control. What if it backfires on him and then it takes away from the story of him? You know what I mean? What if he, in the process of making all these videos, becomes this mix?
Becomes something that he didn't want to be. He becomes something that he never wanted to be.
Not that. I mean, because he's trying to place this file in it. He's becoming parts of the.
Right. Okay.
All of it.
He thinks he had the volume down, but the frequency was just so powerful that even at the lowest volume, it still sneaks its way
So that's
through.
dope. So now what could boss there? Rewind selector. I've been drinking. No, I think what would be really cool to add to that then is he starts growing all these different parts of all these things. So part of his fucking hand has got Freddy Krueger
Yeah,
glove.
Right.
he picks up
He's
pieces
becoming a
of every
freak.
movie.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting bigger.
So in the end, he's all fucking weird.
Right, and large probably, right? If he's gonna be like King Kong.
Partly large,
You
partly
know what it
small.
could be?
Yeah.
He put it on. He had headphones that were just sitting out, and he didn't think it would affect him, but just the sound through the headphones somehow
Was enough.
to get and affect him. So,
Ow.
give me that.
Yeah, just drink that. For the record, Mighty Mike Saga just grabbed the handle of whiskey
With the pour on top.
and I just chugged it, and my chest burns, and now I believe that I just permed my chest hairs. Ow.
So where do we go from here, guys? Where do I've donated a lot here. I
know.
don't want to inundate the whole fucking thing, but it's just got me thinking.
Right, you know what? I think we picked a good one. It's everything Alex wants to do.
I can't help but have great ideas.
No, you do. We just built off my little piece of writing that's still on my. Is it still on my forehead?
I just like to
Oh,
twist
shit, it
things
is.
a little bit more, I don't
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
to step over your shit.
No, I'm not even supposed to even fucking interfere with this in
Right.
the first place. I appreciate that you are breaking your rules to allow
To
me
help you, yeah.
I am
You're
at a
welcome.
point now. Yes, please. Thank you. I am at a point now where it's really got me thinking that my big thing now is I could only imagine how cool if it was a real movie, it would have to be all practical effects what's happening to that main character. So it would be like Evil Dead or where it's all prosthetics, and I could just see or Dead Alive or something where by the end of the movie that main character is so fucking twisted where he's got giant teeth, he's really big, and he's a piece of every single frequency,
Right.
And that's all I could think about is the special effects, how that would be done. You'd have to hire Greg Nicotero to do this.
I'll be
you know?
honest, I would want practical, but there would be moments where you would have to use
need
CGI.
CG.
You
Yeah.
would have
Right.
to. Unfortunately, it's not that I want it, but
Right,
it's
we're
just-
all of us agree that
Yeah.
practical effects are amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the best way to go.
for the most part, it would be practical effects, but there would be when he turns into that monster of all these different
Right.
Probably
things.
gonna need help. Yeah.
you're gonna need help.
Right. Right. You're gonna have to get industrial light and magic involved if you have the money.
So okay. So now that we've figured this all pretty much out, how do we approach this with like what protagonists should we have involved? Like who figures this out? Who tries to protect their ears from hearing this shit? Like it's almost like a Quiet Place where they're like sign language and shit.
Right. I feel like could we go the love interest route where the one that's the protagonist is like a possible like used to be friends with him or wants to save him and like you know what I mean? Or
it's
or
more
it could
typical than you think it is, but I don't mind.
True. Or you know what? Let's flip the script. Make it a lover that's not a female. Maybe it's a male lover.
Now you're just somebody that I used to.
No. Yeah. Well.
Now you're just somebody that I used to blow.
Yeah.
Somebody. Sorry.
Wow. That escalated really quickly.
I didn't say I was just a song.
And I'm totally okay with this. Well, I don't know. What protagonist? What direction would you
Like
go,
what
Brittany?
characters? Yeah, Brittany.
How would you do this? You're on your own, girl.
I'm on my own.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Like what? Just pick something. We can make it work.
This is Alex's project now.
Yeah, I know.
He's like got the wheels turning.
I get 90% of this if it gets made.
Right, you get an A, asshole. A for asshole. No, I'm just kidding. It's the whiskey. No, this is good though because like I think this is really cool. I just wrote a couple of words and Alex gets the award for fucking like
whatever.
No, dude,
It's a group effort. If you
Right.
wouldn't have come up with the idea and Brittany didn't lead
Right.
me in the right direction, we wouldn't have been there.
Right, but he's clearly talented at this because like
Yeah,
He is really good at
Hollywood? If you're gonna hire somebody, I'm just saying, I'm right here.
this guy's fucking awesome.
Guys, you're filling my head with nonsense. Let's get this on.
All right, protagonist Brittany.
Yep, but it has to be somebody that knows him.
That's
for sure.
I agree.
Sure, okay.
So I
pick
like
something
his angle
that
of like
care
the
for
boy
him.
the boy love interest.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
Make it a
two
little bit
guys.
different. Or it could be his mom, and he's in trouble.
Right.
Well, I figure if he's like a troll internet hacker, he probably lives at his parents.
Right.
And
That's
he's
why I was thinking
possibly
like mom.
overweight.
To be honest, a lot of that really is true. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of younger kids who end up moving out a
Yeah.
little bit later, but
Right.
So maybe his mom catches on.
it's
to him.
also a really good cover if
he's
you're
in
trying to
trouble.
do that.
Right.
So, okay, so is this guy have a male love interest, is what you're saying?
Yeah, fuck it.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
down with it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Butt fuck
Butt
it.
sex, baby. Deep.
Okay,
tickle
so
my pickle.
maybe it's his best friend who's trying to get him to stop doing the hacking, and he
Who also loves him.
was like, check this out, man. And
My
he's like, put these headphones on right now so that you don't hear this signal.
Right,
And he's
block
like,
it
what?
out.
What do you mean? And he plays this tape recorder in like a restaurant or a 7-Eleven or a grocery store or something.
Watch this.
Yeah, and he's like, and he puts it on the counter, and the lady kind of like turns her head a little bit, and then she does something.
Right. Reenacts the last movie she
Like
saw. or
opens the
something.
cash register and gives him money or something.
Right.
Oh, what would be a movie that they could pull that from?
I don't know.
So is it gonna
Well,
be?
maybe, what if it's a porno? Like, what if he just like, oh great, now people are gonna think I'm sexist or something.
No,
so
you're
is he?
sexy.
Is he showing it to him in a liquor store?
It's just maybe he can make an old man. Like the guy's in a liquor store and he's just like being weird. He's like, watch this, dude. He's like, put these on. You need to have these ear buds.
to cut out the frequency.
Yeah, because it's important that you do it. And he's like, and put these headphones on to cancel out any noise. And he's like, you
Right.
can't hear him. And it's like the
And watch.
audio goes quiet while their headphones are on. But then he plays it, and it's like just like a woman moaning.
Yeah.
And she's like, and then like the frequency's in there too. And so the guy hears it and starts acting like one of the
Reenacting.
yeah, like the woman. And he starts touching himself, and then he like knocks over some things, and then snaps out of it like
Right.
What the hell? What's going on?
And
couple
feels
minutes later.
embarrassed or something. Like, what did I just
something.
do?
He's got to show his goods so that his friend sees it, so
Right.
that the male counterpart, his significant other, is like, you shouldn't do this,
Right. This is wrong. This is
a bad
fucking
idea.
wrong.
right?
It's a bad
But I
choice.
have this power. It's the idea of like, look what I could do. I have
Right.
great power. I don't give a fuck about the responsibility.
Yeah, no,
I
see. I think that's what it is because a lot of those people they get off on that shit. Like
Right.
the power is like
our current president.
We do it for the lulz. So what are their
Yeah,
names?
you know,
you guys come
whatever.
up with it.
Oh man, I feel like so the main character, I feel like his name should be something like Michael Applebottom. Or actually,
Oh,
yeah, I
you want
gotta,
the full name, huh?
right, like or Michael Ficklebottom. Michael Ficklebottom. I'm just.
How about
making
we
shit
just
up.
call him Michael and the other one's Ben?
Bend over?
Oh my god! So we got Michael and then who's the
Ben?
other guy?
Ben.
You like
Yeah,
Ben?
Michael and Ben
Ben.
is cute.
Okay. So Michael and Ben. So what happens after this incident? It doesn't even have to be that incident. We can make something else up. Like pick something. Like another situation where he lets him hear something on a
So this is after the fact that the power was revealed. I have this tool.
He's like, I hacked into the military base, dude. And he's like, holy shit,
Some war
right?
game
Did
shit
you really?
right here. Yeah.
He was like, I don't even know what it was, but I literally just
And what do I do with
when I
this?
heard this noise, I couldn't hear it.
Right.
But as soon as I listened to it, it was only literally a 5-second beep, but I couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
And he's like, and when I did, all of a sudden, I was climbing around my room like a fucking cat.
Right.
And I was confused as shit, and I knew exactly what was going on. And he was like, so he explains how it all works. But is there another situation that he does it? Because it'd be fun, because it would
Yeah.
be like the lighthearted part in the beginning of the movie where people are doing it.
Yeah.
And then it turns really bad.
Right. Well, that's the thing, that it needs to turn dark like that too. I think where like it's like kind of like innocent, like at first.
Right. It's
Right.
like any kid's dream to make people do
And then you
stupid, weird
fucking
shit.
realize that like this is not innocent. Like you have a lot of fucking power right here, and what the fuck do you do with it?
Right.
And, like, and then I think that's where the revenge thing should come in, where like it's somebody. Are you
Ooh,
stripping
they
your-
break up.
Yeah, it's like yeah, because like so the significant other is like now you're starting to use this for revenge. You're thinking about everybody that's wronged you, that picked on you because you were gay or whatever, bullied you, and like you become the something that you didn't want to be. Like you like end up becoming this terrible human being because revenge. And it is a classic theme, right? Where like somebody has great power and they turn into something they were like trying to fight
Well,
against.
something close to them goes wrong, and then they
Right.
abuse it.
I feel like once he accidentally kills, once Michael or Ben, whichever one has the power, accidentally didn't mean to kill someone.
Well, he didn't kill him. He just caused them to
Right,
kill
he was
somebody
like Charles
else.
Manson, that shit, right? We're like helter skeltered. Like I didn't.
I
Fucking,
think we should do the King Kong one. Somehow somebody sees it, and then the guy starts banging his chest on the counter
Right.
at the like grocery store, and then fucking like these are after many of these incidences because
Right.
they have this whole montage
Yeah.
of like funny things, and it's kind of cool.
It's all
like,
positive sounding
right,
at first.
right. It's all fun
There's
and
a cool
happy.
montage of it
right.
happening.
And then one of the last ones that happens, somebody like gets up on a thing, pounds on his chest, and then kills somebody.
Right, so they didn't mean to kill somebody. But
And they run. They get the fuck out of there. They're like running, and they're like, "Holy shit!" He's like, "Dude, you got to stop what you're doing."
right, this is not fucking funny
And he was like,
anymore.
"Yeah, you're right." But then on the side, he's like, it's almost like him. So Ben is the hacker,
Right,
and then Michael is the boyfriend.
right.
So Ben goes home, says, "Yeah, you're right. We got to stop." But on the side, he's like cheating on his boyfriend with this project.
Right, I have this power.
Right, he's
And,
like addicted
I need
to
to
it.
get revenge, or I need to wrong, like all these things that happen to me.
There
Like,
should be instances where it seems like a good idea because like maybe
Right,
his
it's
boyfriend gets
justified.
beat up or
Yeah, they'll
something.
do like
right
flashback.
one, he loves him, and he's like, I got to get revenge.
What
for
were you saying?
I think like flashback moments where like he has people that he's picked that he wants to play these frequencies for or do whatever, right? So it can be people that have wronged him or his boyfriend in the past, and they do like a flashback of what they did to him, and that's why he's doing this to those people.
Okay,
Right.
So like a
before the-
boyfriend getting beat up or something. And it
Gotcha.
could be like the group of people that beat him up. That's who he's going to inflict this on next.
So
Right.
the King Kong
Yeah.
moment doesn't happen till after that, I think. Right? Like the kill because
Well, I
King Kong
think
moment should
that
be a
should
climax
Yeah, I
thing.
think that should be the first initial like drop into everything.
When everything's
And this
turning
is
to
what
shit.
separates Ben and Michael
Right.
completely
Well, I
because
think
that
he
happens
doesn't
and
believe in
it's
him
completely
anymore.
innocent. Like they didn't mean for it to happen, but shit just went bad. And then he's like, I don't want to do this, and if you want to do this, I can't be with you. And then they're done.
Right.
I
And
think it
that
would be kind of
creates good
interesting.
conflict.
Yeah.
I think it would be kind of interesting though to play on the lighthearted part in the beginning where they make him do mundane little things, right? And then he learns to tweak the signal a little bit more to make it louder, more robust, whatever
and
the fuck.
Control more people.
Right. And then so then Michael they're walking down the street laughing about it.
Right.
And then Michael gets beat up. And so
that's when it goes dark.
That's when it goes
right.
dark.
And then Michael at first is like, "Oh my God, you saved me." Right. So it's like this moral dilemma.
Right.
Where it's like, okay, so like he saved me, but this bad thing really occurred, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with it. So it's like that borderline, like, is this the right thing?
And this is a normal thing, because you think about, like, if you think of the psychology behind it, what would me and you do in that situation? So it feels more real.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Oh, fuck, man, I have
and
to do
then
something.
that's when the King Kong thing happens after that to compound the bad, the negative.
Right, so this starts building.
Yeah, so then Michael gets pissed. They break up. Ben is pissed off, drunk, maybe getting high on meth or whatever the fuck else it is.
Smoking crack and weed or something.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, and he gets pissed and he's like, I'm going to turn this signal all the way the fuck up.
Loses his fucking mind.
Right. And he's also at the same time, he's having these micro things that he doesn't remember where he blacks out.
I would blame it on the drugs, probably.
Well, no, I mean the frequency.
Oh, okay. Like I'd like to mix it with drugs and like the frequency, because it'd be cool to have a montage of him literally losing his mind, doing all these crazy drugs and like doing all this crazy shit. You know what I mean? To make it even crazier sounding.
I think it would be cool. Like, this is just my idea. I don't know if you guys like it or not, but I think it'd be interesting that there would be these weird blackouts that the viewer sees. So they don't really see what happens, but what it is he's actually, instead of being cognizant, the signal's so strong with him that he blacks out and becomes this other thing.
Wow, it has no
and you don't realize that till the very end when he starts changing like to all these characters, right?
Right. Real heavy CG comes in.
Right. And then you see these flashbacks of all these things. Maybe when Michael talks to Ben, there's like these flashes of like him remembering like where he was before he became this beast. And so you see all these moments that were blackouts and you just think, oh, he's just a drug addict, alcoholic, whatever.
Yeah.
And it really, all these bad things really were occurring the whole time.
Right.
We could probably show them later on a little bit, like so that the viewer catches on to it, so to speak.
Right.
I don't know. What do you think?
I like it. Yeah, you're actually building on like more than my empty brain can do.
Whatever. We've been doing this for a long time. It's almost a year and a half now.
Right.
So
it's like listen, Hollywood, this man.
Whatever. Shut the fuck up.
It could be like Fiverr for writing scripts for horror movies. You don't have to pay him $5. We're saying like pay him like $5 million.
We'll start a new website, 10K for us.
Right, like Alex just writes these scripts and gives.
Stop it. Yeah. Stop it.
They're listening, and I have connections to do this.
I reject you.
Yeah, fuck you. You'll take the money.
But no, for real. Where do we go from here, guys? So we kind of have like a little bit of a it's spread out a little bit.
Well, okay, I feel like are we almost like in the middle of the movie now?
Well, because
I feel like we're like,
it's the second act.
Right.
The first act is like the fun part and like kind of twisted because things are happening bad.
Right.
But then the breakup happens, which is the kind of what happens where he decides to tweak it. Then the third act is when shit goes batshit. And then he eventually changes into all these characters, and he's like morphing. Like his body is literally changing on the spot.
Yeah.
And it's like you can see it almost like a ripple in the water.
Right.
Like his body has become some sort of like
he's like almost an Emperor Palpatine type
waveform
thing,
or something.
where like he's becoming like fucked up looking now.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I see it like ripples and like a waveform is when you look at a like audio waveform.
Right.
Like his body is just like reverberating and like
it's flashing to all the things that have happened.
Right.
Like, and you can't even look at him anymore because
it's almost like
so...
Lawnmower Man.
Right. Job.
Remember when he was like
fluttering, right? Yeah, it's fucking scary. So we're gearing up for the conclusion then, right? The climax of the movie.
But we have to now, for the second act, we have to kind of pick specific things, specific characters that from movies that we can show these things, and maybe even in the montage in the beginning when they're fucking with people.
Right.
So let's come up with 3 things in the montage for the beginning, like 3 specific things that maybe 4 if you can think of something.
Right.
So just come up with like a character or something that he makes him do. Like
I feel like Brittany, like she's been a little silent because we've been chatty Cathy's. Is or any gears turning in your head right now?
any characters that you could think of.
We're doing the funny montage.
Yeah, we'll do the funny one, just little things. Like we did the guy doing the porno, the old man, he knocks over the
Right.
whiskey. What is another
Right.
one that they
So
have?
these supposed to be like movies or just like random
It
shit?
just could be random shit or movies. We'll get into the movies at least in the second act more so.
Right.
Because this is just piddly shit right now.
Diddly diddly.
Piddly shit.
You know what I mean? Like you would like to see somebody do something in this particular instance. Like maybe they turn him into a newscaster or, you know what
yeah.
I mean?
Hi,
Like
I'm
something
Ted
like
Koppel.
mundane.
Yeah. So they could be, yeah, the idea of a newscaster is kind of fun.
Right. Or
They could literally make him
sportscaster.
say whatever the fuck he wants to. So
Right.
they have him come on and talk about this like crazy, I don't know, a meteor that's about to fall to Earth or something, and he starts freaking the fuck out.
This just in, total annihilation is happening for the planet Earth as soon as the meteorite lands in just
Like
approximately
ripping
2
his hair out and
hours.
screaming and like taking off his clothes
Okay.
or whatever.
Oh my God. Look at this guy.
We're all gonna die.
And they're just laughing their asses off, like watching it like play out on the TV on the street corner. So, because that's still a thing that exists places.
I think it would be also cool to maybe they're walking down the street laughing about this, and then like some guy slams into him, and then they play something else. What would that be? Like he makes that guy do something silly. Maybe it's like Ace Ventura, and he's like, you know,
Pick somebody up. Like,
well, I got
do not
glove.
pass go. Do not collect $500. Makes him the Monopoly man.
Monopoly man. Yeah.
Or like a guy's talking to a girlfriend or some girl, and he's trying to mac on her, or vice versa, and fucking he makes them talk like an idiot.
Yeah.
Right. Do
That'd be
not
funny.
pass go.
You know what I mean? Like he makes them talk like loud noises.
Loud noises.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
I love Stapler.
Stapler. I love lamp.
And the girl's like, nah. I'm out.
Nope.
Okay,
Bye.
so we got 3 there now total. What's one more, Saga? Come on. What's another instance that you could, something fun that you could think? I still like the newscaster. We could do that.
Right. You know what? I don't know. I have to think about this.
He could be a weather guy.
Weather guy.
Or
It's gonna rain.
Or a QVC, and he's like showcasing something, and
Right.
everybody's like, "What the fuck
fuck
is
are you
this guy
talking about?
doing?"
Right. Like right. Well.
You can use it to cut your mother.
Maybe he's like holding it up to their ears. He's like, "Here, listen to this,"
Right.
you know, so that it's not affecting everyone.
Right. I'm kind of lost on this one. I don't know. This is because of the large consumption of whiskey that I've decided to partake in.
Just think of something interesting. It could be a DJ, or it could, you know what I mean? Like we could even have a segment where he plays something on. He's like, "Yo, check this track out," you know, and play this.
And then it affects the person.
Right.
Yeah. And maybe it makes them twerk and they don't even dance ever.
Maybe it's like the scene from fucking Blade.
Blade,
Yeah,
the blood rave.
Blood rave.
Right. And
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right. So there's raining blood.
Well, it doesn't really actually happen,
Right.
but in their minds,
they're acting it out.
Yeah.
True. You already made that up. You stole
Yeah.
my fucking idea. Al. I hate you.
Hey, you're a DJ.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking DJ here.
I know. I'm just so blown away how far this has gone, and I haven't really even given much.
What are you
fucking
talking
input.
about? You were the reason that it happened.
I know, and I'm like having a mental fart right now.
Come on, just focus.
Focus.
Think of some simple.
focus.
We're just doing the mundane ones right now. These are the little ones,
little ones.
the fun montage ones.
Okay, I feel then I'm gonna probably get shit for this. I feel there's this porno I saw recently. There was
Well,
a
we already
porno-
did the porno one.
Oh shit! So I can't even do pterodactyl porn reenactment. God
I've seen
damn
that.
it.
I've seen
Have
that.
you seen that? Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Bop, bop, like it's like
There's-
flapping its wings. Brittany, have you seen this pterodactyl porn that I'm talking about?
Yeah, they
No.
have some of their
That
skin
sounds
comes off.
amazing.
It's disgusting.
Brittany, it's
Like,
amazing. Yeah, like this girl's like riding a pterodactyl.
Oh my god.
All right, we're totally getting off subject here.
Okay.
I'm really sorry. So I have to think of something mundane. I feel like a RoboCop reenactment would be kind of cool. So, like, I mean, we all know the most ultimate scene ever in RoboCop is the Ed 209 when he's introduced into the movie. It'd be kind of interesting for that to happen to someone. Where like, cut the board, like pull the power, like, and like a person having that happen to them and reenact that. And people witnessing that horror would be scary as fuck.
Oh, so what is it? So refresh everybody's memories. So what happens?
So in that movie, so they think so Ed 209 stands for enforcement droid, and
Right.
209. I feel like was there 208 of those before they got it right, which they totally didn't get it right because like 209. So this is what Ed 209 does. Someone's breaking a law. They have a firearm, correct? They have a firearm, and you have 15 seconds to comply, and the guy puts the gun down. He complies, and then 209 still goes off. You have 10 seconds to comply, and they start the engineers start freaking the fuck out.
You now have 5 seconds to comply. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So I could only imagine in a movie that if someone was reenacting that, like, holy shit, like they would be spazzing the fuck out.
Right.
Now the person that you're controlling, would they be Ed 209 or would they be the engineers?
Well, I mean, what you could do is you could actually have them flash to that moment. I mean, because
Right.
legitimately, we're not making this movie.
right, we'll never get the funding. For it.
Intellectual rights is ours, because we came up with the idea. But you could literally have them flash to that scene so the guy thinks he's the robot.
Right,
And then it could flash between both.
Right. That'd be a new fucking era of movie making when you could do shit like that, like flashback
Right.
to movies that we all grew up with.
Well, you could, technically.
You
I
have
mean,
to have a lot of money.
if you've seen Ready Player One, they fucking use a lot of fucking nostalgia in that movie.
Right. I haven't seen that yet.
But so what are we doing with this? Okay, so he says to Ed 209. So we got 4 now for the fun ones.
yes.
Okay. Now that we're in Act 2, we got to kind of pump through this a little bit. We got to come up with some specific characters
We're
that we
getting a
want.
climax now.
We
right?
already have King Kong, so he's like going to be hanging on something and then maybe fighting something and kill
Right.
somebody. So we got that one. That's the final one that really kind of like sets it off, and he breaks up with them right before the third act, right?
Right.
Because he's like, this is too much.
Well, is third act final act or is that 4? 4 is final?
No, there's only 3 acts.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
3-act structure.
Okay. Gotcha.
I forget what it's called exactly, but there's a 3-act structure. So there's the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Okay, that makes sense.
Usually it's like it's the setup, the everything that's going on, what the trouble is, the key turning point, and
Right.
then
Gotcha.
the third act is like where shit goes wild.
Right.
So, okay, so we got the King Kong one. What other characters would you like to see in this movie?
I feel like, what we don't get a lot of because we're never going to get a Cthulhu movie. I feel like we should just have Cthulhu. Because I feel like we always get teased. Like, somewhere down the line, there's a low budget version of that. But I feel like.
We've had movies that are kind of.
Right, I'm just saying, but there should just be a full on.
Like In the Mouth of Madness.
Right. A full on Cthulhu somehow has
So a
to
guy
manifest.
thinks he's like this big creature.
Right, the Dark Overlord or with the ancient one.
What about you? Do you have a character that you would love to see somebody turn into in a way?
like Krang?
Like
from
this is
Teenage Mutant
before
Ninja
he
Turtles?
turns the signal up too. So to 11.
This is not the climax.
So he's not killing anybody?
This is just where people are like starting to kill people. It's a bad result of this.
Right.
And this is what causes Michael to break up with him and try to like damage his work or something,
Okay, I want Ash.
Nice.
Ash,
from Evil
okay.
Dead.
I would like to
five,
see
You know I was going to say I want to Texas
Bruce
Chainsaw
fucking-
Massacre,
I
but
kind of knew.
he's
yeah.
going to kill everybody right away, so let's just do Ash.
What's
'Cause
another
he's still a good
character?
guy in a way.
What's another character that would be kind of interesting to see in a movie?
Weird Al Yankovic.
Yes.
That's
This is so weird.
Murray would be perfect.
Yeah,
I'm looking at my shit now.
right. Okay. Got.
What about Chucky? Is that too much?
I hate Chucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think he's bad.
About just having Val Kilmer or Danny DeVito.
Just Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
make it Rob Lowe so he'll ruin it. And we're done.
Right.
Oh, that's so sad. Well, what if we just have fucking Michael Myers? Fuck it.
Yeah, I like that.
We have Michael Myers, the guy who goes around, and maybe he's one of the people that end up not the getting shot guy.
Right.
And that's one of the many So we have the King Kong incident, and then we have like one of these other ones that you guys were talking about. You want Ash. Like, what do you want Ash to do?
The guy should literally like chop his own arm off and then like
Yeah.
attach a chainsaw to it.
Oh, he does the whole kitchen
He
scene?
does the whole thing, yeah. Like, he thinks his hand's possessed, and he chops off his fucking hand, and then he, like, makes a makeshift weapon out
Right,
of the
because that'd
stump.
be a great gory
He
scene,
sticks like a
too.
knife
A
in it
knife,
instead?
yeah,
or-
sticks a knife in
Ew,
it, or a
stump.
gun, or whatever in the stump, yeah.
Because it's not
Okay.
really happening, but
Okay.
they think it's
Yeah.
happening.
Okay, and then you said...
Krang from Teenage Mutant... Wait, that wasn't a thought.
I was like, you didn't say that.
Well, because
No,
when they...
I mumbled it, actually.
when Ben turns up the frequency, these people start to change into these things, too.
Right. What did I say? Oh, Val Kilmer.
no, you
For
said
no-
the Cthulhu thing.
Oh, right, yeah, that would be really cool because I think it would be really cool to have like a reference to Cthulhu and
Oh, that's right. Okay.
the ancient one.
So this guy tries to do it, and they lock him up, and he's one of the people that go into the third act, and he starts to change into Cthulhu.
Right, which
Like,
is getting bigger. and
straight
bigger
up,
and
right.
bigger, yeah.
And he becomes so big that he breaks out of the jail.
Right.
And it just spills out into the fucking jail.
And that's where the climax comes now, right?
Right. Well, this
Because
is where
shit's-
mayhem starts to really...
Right. This is building now.
Right, and they
Climax.
can't figure out what it is.
And how do we stop it?
And
Yeah.
what if because of the signal, it becomes this thing where it only kind of takes on a life of its own, because now it's mixing a frequency with the character with a human,
Right.
and it's now becoming sentient. The frequency is almost becoming sentient.
Oh, shit, like
and,
Skynet.
And so when these creatures are coming to life, they are able to open their mouths and audibly or inaudibly set the
fuck,
frequency
like building
out.
an army now?
Right. So now
Oh,
it's like
man, the end of humanity.
it's doing shit like
Right.
I would love to see a Godzilla creature of some
Yeah.
sort. Like, I think that would be amazing. So
Right.
you hear the Godzilla roar and somebody starts to change into that.
Right, and how else are you going to end the Earth by having something giant that destroys everything?
Well, you got
That's not
Cthulhu.
Right,
So
like,
what if
we're
like
done.
Godzilla and Cthulhu
It's
battle?
like Godzilla, Cthulhu, King Kong, and then Ash.
Stay
are
Puft
gonna fight
Marshmallow
each other.
Man.
Right.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
So yeah, I don't know. It'd just be interesting to see like, and maybe they're not like as big as buildings and stuff.
Right.
They're just kind of bigger than like a single level.
Yeah, they're like a Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
Right, like 7
more than
foot
that.
tall. Or Hulk size.
Hulk
Hulk
size.
size.
Lou
But yeah,
Ferrigno.
I think it would be kind of interesting. What other? Okay, so Michael wants to leave Ben at this point. He tries to sabotage his work, but somehow Michael has a backup and all this
Right.
other shit. He's been putting all these videos up on torrents because he gets pissed.
Right.
And he just wants to see the world react, and there's like news reports where people are acting funkin', all over the fucking
Right.
place. And he's just getting the biggest joke out of it,
Right.
But this time he's really pissed, and he's really trashed on drugs and alcohol or
Right.
whatever else. So he decides that he's going to pick one of the most popular movies, or
At the time, I guess, right?
yeah, maybe it's like a movie with like a lot of different characters in it, and he just cranks it up, like the frequency that he can't hear, but he also is hearing it. So people just start like shifting and morphing all of a sudden, like, because the signal and the frequency is just so powerful that like anybody that watches it, like theaters are overrun with all these people like spilling out into
It's the main freak out now. It's the
Right.
frequency of all frequencies.
And we usually have bad endings in our GravePlots, if you notice, like,
Right.
because we always love that.
all love to the 80s movies that had
But I
bad
think we
endings.
need to add somewhat of an element of how this like
Right.
fills out. So there's got to be that love interest. So maybe Michael comes back to quote unquote tame the beast,
Right.
because Ben had those headphones sitting out, and he was able to hear the frequency too.
Yeah.
And he thought that it wasn't affecting him, but because it was so quiet and in the distance, it just...
Took a while.
It's like they say, like microwaves. Have you ever
Right, the
known
mic-
anything about
I
microwaves?
put
Like-
burritos in them all the time.
well, I mean microwaves, like the actual.
Are you
like,
saying microwaves? What the hell are you doing?
Mic-
but
microwaves?
they say, like, literally, like they say that the stronger microwave is, the less effective it is overall.
Okay.
But if you introduce a long, low microwave into a group, because they use this for real,
Right.
like in the Navy, they were using like microwaves to cause people to go crazy.
Right.
But they would, if you use a low frequency of microwave, it has much more of a detrimental effect to the human
Right.
than a burst of like a really strong one.
Right.
So it like, I don't know, maybe it's like that. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like
Okay.
the frequency that he's hearing is affecting him. He starts to turn into all these things because he's been subjected to it from the start.
Right.
So like all these different things are coming in him. Of course, Michael wants to try to, he sees that he's like overtaking a building or something like that.
Right. Just go into rampage mode and turns into a giant monster as well.
Maybe,
Right.
yeah. Like I feel like Freddy Krueger should come out and is like killing
Right.
people. He's got like all these
Shit just goes
different
bonkers.
Right.
Right.
I mean, think about an ultimate villain too, like someone that has like all these different like destructive like ways of like destroying things when you're so many different things. That's like the ultimate fucking villain, you know? Like to have all these traits like I'm giant, I'm Cthulhu, I'm fucking Freddy Krueger, I'm this, I'm that. Like that'd be a hard enemy to defeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would be kind of a poor ending, I guess, in a way, because, like,
Destroy
what are
the
they gonna
world to
do?
destroy it.
Yeah, they would just have to nuke.
Right, we would all have to die. Maybe that's how it could be super dark, where the only way this thing's gonna get worse and worse, and it's gonna conquer the galaxy. Everybody dies. Everybody
Or
dies.
he just has to.
Well, I don't want it to
destroy
do that. I think it just needs to be one localized area.
Or he just has to destroy the
The box.
box.
Right, the technology has
Right.
to find out where he's saved, like where he's
Yeah,
hiding
maybe
it.
he downloads a virus on it.
Maybe it's in his parents' basement.
What if he plays the frequency backwards?
Yeah, and that reverses everything.
Or some sort of...
Right, it was like super simple like that. Like
Yeah,
that,
something easy.
Brittany's onto something.
Yeah.
He just figures out, maybe he tries to download a virus onto it or whatever, but it's not successful. And then he's like, what if I just flip the switch?
Right.
And then flicks it back and plays it backwards, and he notices things start to kind of reverse,
Right.
and everything ends up backing up into
But
normal.
as it fixes, I think it would be kind of cool that the military...
comes in and blows him up anyway.
Right. So everybody dies. So yeah, so Michael and Ben both die anyways.
Everybody in like Oak Canyon,
But
Minnesota is
maybe
like
it's
dead.
like it's
Yeah.
a real tender moment though, where like Michael is trying
finally make
trying
up.
to plead with him, and it somehow affects the frequency enough for him to have cognizant like emotions because of the love, quote unquote. I'm using air quotes here, guys.
Right.
And so like he's able to like enact this, but it's just too late.
right.
Like other countries have sent this signal.
Right. They've all agreed to do this.
They've bombed. They're bombing America basically,
Right,
and just
right.
like
Yeah.
trying to wipe it off the planet.
because everybody agrees this is what needs to be done.
Right.
And I think it should definitely go dark where like you think everything's gonna be made right. They have their romantic sayings, like they like there's all this like romance and like you think it's all gonna work out and like I'll change for you and I love you and then they all die.
Maybe
They
it's
just get
all
blown
like
up.
it reverses completely, right? And they get to the end, and his character is totally back to being a normal person, and he's not this creepy monster. And then they like right when they go to kiss, they just blow up.
Yeah,
Right.
you see
Boom.
it wipe out, and then
And that's it.
and then the camera goes
Pans
back
back, yeah.
to like
And
the
this whole
to
city
the-
is like gone.
right.
And then
Just rubble.
But I think it would also be good before he turns into these creatures or whatever. He starts having flashbacks of his blackouts.
Right.
Yeah.
That he realizes that he's been doing these things on the side. What are some things real quick that we could just say that he did? Like maybe he kills his neighbor with like as Michael Myers,
Right.
And like maybe he turns into Cthulhu,
Right.
And like somehow
Sinks a
uses
ship.
Yeah,
Right.
like I don't know, like it could be weird
Sinks a
shit.
Navy boat.
Yeah, and then he comes back like
I mean, I think it'd be cool to, like, so, like, so they're trying to, like, mimic, like, something from a movie. Yeah, it would be really cool, like, he goes to his neighbor, and, like, what Michael Myers was using.
or
like,
Psycho.
Right, or Psycho. Well,
In
I'm
the
saying,
shower.
Yeah.
Boobies.
right. So, but the funny thing, like, to make it funny, because we're trying to be a little funny about it, is, like, Michael Myers used, a giant, like
Knife.
kitchen knife. It'd be awesome if, like, maybe he just used, like, a screwdriver to pull off the same scene.
Whatever he could
And
find.
makes it more fucked up and more awkward to
Right.
kill them because like instead of like a big knife slicing
Or
go-
it's a
penetrating
spatula.
right and so it takes a little bit longer to kill them. I think that
God.
would be really fucked up and funny. It's like there's a little extracurricular curriculum
yeah,
to do.
funny.
Yeah.
I like that. So the end is them realizing how much they love each other.
Right.
He tames the beast to fix it. Everybody
then they
starts
die.
changing back because he somehow hacks like something that can send the signal out to everyone.
Just like a radio.
It could be TV or their
TV or
phones.
radio. Phones.
There you go. Everybody's phone has the fucking. They're trying to put a chip. Actually, this is legit shit. Republicans are trying to put a chip into phones that will allow you to get alerted for any kind of.
He gets the Amber Alert system.
Right.
Bam.
There you go.
And the signal gets sent. The signal or whatever gets downloaded on their
The
thing.
National Weather Service.
Right,
Or whatever.
and they hear it, and it starts to morph them back to normal. Other
Right.
phones are going off, so you can hear it anyway.
Right.
Some react faster than others, but ultimately everybody's coming back to normal. Yeah, and then that's when you see them hug Beast and Michael,
And they go
Right.
to kiss.
and then they kind of like
you
morph.
think everything's gonna be all right.
They morph into a kiss.
Love.
I'm sorry, guys, but
love.
that just makes sense.
No, you gotta
Intergalactic
make it
love.
sappy, and then they die. So
And then,
fuck that sappiness.
and then as they kiss, the nuke goes off behind them, and you see the fucking them blown
And
away.
they evaporate.
Like
Just
Terminator
dust.
2 style.
Yeah,
like,
I have an idea. Do you want to hear my idea?
okay.
Yeah.
Because it's been forming in my mind. So that happens, right? And there's pieces of meat of Michael and Benjamin, right? And guess who comes walking by? Who just happened to be in the area? Nick Nolte just comes walking by. And
What about Gary Busey?
And
though?
no, I was
Gary
about to.
Busey!
And Gary Busey walks by and wonders what the fuck he's doing.
Damn it, Gary, what the hell are you doing?
And Nick Nolte's like, since they're off the rocker, they're like, I don't know, I'm kind of hungry. I was about to roast these hot dogs, and it's pieces of Michael and Benjamin.
This is actually kind of good.
And
Dicks.
that's
You're
how
out of
we
control.
ended. I know.
That's just Mike making shit up, guys. That's not how the movie ends.
And then Tim Curry rolls by in his,
In his
wheelchair
wheelchair.
and wants a piece.
but I.
Trust is it.
Be pretty.
Jesus Christ.
He's Pennywise.
I'm sorry,
But
guys.
this is what I do think should happen. At the very end, you see a piece of like something reverberating,
Ooh.
like the wave. You remember we were
For
talking
a
about?
sequel, baby.
Yeah, something. Yeah. So
That's
yeah.
smart. That is a throwback to like 80s horror movies, right? Where,
Yeah, like all these people are coming in, like this is like 10, 20 years in the future or whatever, and they're coming in, and you see something like shifting. You
Right.
know, I don't know what it is.
or maybe the box, like there was a backup of that box.
well,
that
no,
you
because
bought.
the nuke would
Destroy
wipe everything
everything.
out.
Or what do you find out? Somebody in India had like the original box that was built for the
Yeah,
military.
maybe China comes in and like is like kind of like going through the debris and seeing
Right.
what, you know, whatever it is.
Oh, reverse engineering, maybe.
but
They
something
grab it?
just you see just like a bone that like or like like rotted flesh and like bone
Right.
that just like you see it like do this little ripple.
So once it's affected by this, it's forever.
Right, and
Right.
maybe it makes like somehow the guy touches it, and all of a sudden he kind of turns his head, and that's when
The
movie-
frequency goes through the body. So yeah, this movie will never end then.
Right. Well,
until the
I want it
Earth
to
is
be.
destroyed.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Right, like, I mean, Hollywood should buy it and like let's get like 15 of these fucking movies. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Franchise.
right, let's
Final
franchise the living
Destination,
shit out of that merchandising.
What's
All right,
amazing?
so-
it's gonna be the next Sharknado.
So what are we going to
Right.
come up with the for the tagline, or the
Okay.
like there here was the
Right. So
For
FREAKquency, feel it. I don't know.
what?
Feel? I don't know. I don't know. Well, wait. If it's with sound frequencies, do you want to feel it? Or
Do you
like,
feel it?
Yeah. Do you feel it? Right. Frequency.
What if it's
do you
like
feel
what
it?
if it's
I
like something
that.
about like don't listen, don't.
Right. Like
you know what I
something
mean?
about like tune it out. Tune it out.
Hear no evil, do no evil.
Right. See no evil. Hear. Right. Where's that horror movie with Kane in it? Do you remember? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
I saw the first one. I didn't
That's
see
Or
See
it
no
could
evil,
be
right?
it could be something like hear
Yeah.
evil, do evil.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's smart. Yeah.
Hear
Hear,
evil,
evil,
do
do
evil.
evil.
Yeah.
Right. Frequency. Hear evil, do evil. Wait. Hold on. Frequency.
High
No,
frequency.
Freak. Wait. Right. High frequency. Hear evil, do evil.
But it's not.
Yeah,
all,
I like that,
But it's also not all malevolent. Like
Right,
bad.
because there's porno type things.
right.
happening.
Yeah. Once you
It'd be
hear
like,
it,
hear evil, do evil.
Right.
once you
mark.
hear it, it's over.
Right. Right. It has to
That'll
be
work.
some cute, like, yeah.
Become the frequency.
Yeah.
Once you hear it, you will become the frequency.
Right.
Don't listen.
Yeah, but I can imagine the trailer being
I'm
really
good with
fun.
whatever you guys want.
Right. I just like all the little because like when you watch back in the 80s, like when you watch the trailer, like it was like 5 minutes long and it basically spoiled the whole movie. But there was enough like slogans and taglines, like so everything you're saying could be the whole fucking trailer. Don't listen because you'll become the freak.
Well, yeah, that's true because they would do like, don't listen.
Yeah.
Don't hear. Yeah,
Like, and then that's the only time they did that in the 80s. It was the only time that when those trailers were like, they basically ruined the movie for you. You didn't even need to go see the movie. You would just listen to the 3-minute trailer.
Well, what tagline do you like? What do you think, Brittany? Just come up with something if you
There
want.
were so many.
Yeah, right?
I'm like, which one? Which one?
Right.
What was the one that you said? Don't.
Hear it, or
Don't listen?
no, it
No,
can't
you
be
said,
something like
you said
that.
one that I liked.
Hear evil, do evil.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, but it's not all malevolent though. We said that.
Oh,
That's why we did it. We'd be like, do evil? Question mark.
Right, too.
Once you hear it, you become the frequency.
Yeah.
The high frequency.
You could just
I
say,
know.
yeah. You don't even have to put.
Or
the
you
high.
could just put, once you hear it, you become ...
Right.
And then it's high frequency.
high frequency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And part of that, too, like if you were doing like a voiceover for like the...
Become the ...
right. Whatever
High frequency.
Yeah.
Whatever
exactly.
fantasies you're wild about, you become it.
I mean,
That's basically
Hobbit.
what happens, right? Yeah.
but guys,
Become it.
for those of you listening now, I mean, this is a pretty elaborate story.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep.
Something that would take a
Deep
lot
like
more
anal.
time than an hour of us
Deeply.
coming up with this shit right off the top of our heads in order to make it pop and like actually work. We may even change the name if we were to make this a real movie. But did you like what we came up with? Did you like the concept? Did you like the ideas? We didn't really have that many kills. Really,
Right.
we didn't really describe so many kills, but more insinuated the happenstance
Right.
of it. But what would you change? What would you add? Like, what do you guys think of this? Please let us know in the comments.
I'll suck your dick.
He's gonna tickle your pickle.
He really will, guys.
Tickle your pickle.
All right, guys.
Wow, there was purring in there.
Yeah.
That was good job. Good job, Brittany.
But guys, Mike, thank you so much for coming on this
You're
week.
so
It's always
welcome.
a pleasure to have you on, man. I'm glad we got to pick yours too, out of all the fucking
Yes,
ones.
I feel like a winner.
Still on your
And
forehead.
legitimately, guys, we did not
perfect.
make that happen. It legitimately happened.
Yeah.
There's no corruption
he
here.
somehow willed it to be.
But guys, if you want to, actually come up with your own movie title that you think would be a cool idea or name of a movie, all you have to do is go to longlivethevoid.com, go to the contact section, and you can pick in the drop-down menu GravePlot suggestion. And if we pick yours, we'll give you a shout-out on the cast, make up a cover, and let you know. And it'll be your episode that we came up with on the spot.
And I'll tickle your pickle.
Oh, my
He's
God.
gonna suck your dingling.
We've had enough pickle juice and everything today. I
I know,
think.
we're so done with this now.
But guys, thank you so much for coming by this week. I hope you enjoyed that. And of course, as always,
Stay weird, monsters.
You have been listening to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. Tune in every Monday for a brand new episode.